Keanu Reeves steps out of a sleek Porsche, rain pounding the Seattle riverbanks, when fate takes a wild turn. 9-year-old Jaden, an orphan scraping by in the city's forgotten slums, watches from a muddy dike, his escape from a world that's never cared. Then it happens. Keanu slips, teetering on the edge of a raging river. Without a second thought, Jaden lunges, grabbing his arm and pulling him back from disaster. A kid with nothing saves a star with everything. Shaken, Keanu hands Jaden a card. "You ever need me, call." The next day, he's back, not just to thank him, but to change his life. From a crumbling shack to a high-rise home, Jaden world flips. But this isn't just about one boy's rise, it's about fighting the unfairness he left behind. Buckle up, this ride's just starting. Keanu Reeves steps out of a sleek Porsche, rain pounding the Seattle riverbanks, when fate takes a wild turn. 9-year-old Jaden, an orphan scraping by in the city's forgotten slums, watches from a muddy dike, his escape from a world that's never cared. Then it happens. Keanu slips, teetering on the edge of a raging river. Without a second thought, Jaden lunges, grabbing his arm and pulling him back from disaster. A kid with nothing saves a star with everything. Shaken, Keanu hands Jaden a card. "You ever need me, call." The next day, he's back, not just to thank him, but to change his life. From a crumbling shack to a high-rise home, Jaden world flips. But this isn't just about one boy's rise. It's about fighting the unfairness he left behind. Buckle up, this ride's just starting. Jaden wasn't supposed to be anyone's hero, least of all Keanu Reeves. He's just a kid, 9 years old, with no family, no money, and no future anyone's bothered to notice. In Seattle's outer slums, where the city turns its back, Jaden scratches out a living. The streets here are a mess of broken dreams. Kids left to fend for themselves, families ignored by the shiny downtown towers. It's a place where the gap between rich and poor isn't just wide, it's a canyon. Jaden knows it too well. He's got no parents, no safety net, just a quick mind and a stubborn spark that keeps him going. Most days he's hustling, picking up cans, running errands for $1 or $2. It's not much, but it's enough to eat. People in the neighborhood know him for his grin, the kind that says he's not giving up, even when the world's stacked against him. But there's more to Jaden than survival. He's got dreams, big ones, and they live in the hum of engines he hears from the dikes along the river. Those dikes are his spot, his hideout from the grind. He sits there, legs dangling, watching luxury cars zip by on the highway above. To him, they're more than metal and chrome, they're freedom, a ticket out of the muck. He imagines himself behind the wheel, not stuck in a slum where nobody cares. It's a fantasy he clings to, a lifeline in a life that's mostly shadows. Keanu Reeves, though, he's real. Jaden has seen his face before, plastered on faded movie posters in the corner store. The guy's a legend, someone who's made it, someone who belongs in those cars. Jaden doesn't know it yet, but that legend's about to crash into his world. Keanu's not here by accident. He's in Seattle, maybe for a break, maybe for something else, doesn't matter. What matters is he's on that dike, stepping out of his Porsche, drawn to the river's edge. Rain's coming down hard, soaking his black suit, but he doesn't flinch. He's got that quiet vibe, the one people talk about. Cool, grounded, like he's seen it all. Jaden watches from a distance, curious but not starstruck. He's too used to keeping his head down. Keanu's just another guy in a fancy car. Until he's not. The slip happens fast, wet ground, bad footing, and suddenly he's sliding toward the drop. Jaden doesn't think. He's off the dike, feet pounding mud, heart racing. He grabs Keanu's arm just as the man's about to go over, yanking with everything he's got. They hit the ground together, breathless, alive. Keanu's stunned. He looks at this kid, scrawny, soaked in patched up clothes, and sees something he can't shake. "You saved me," he says, voice rough with shock. Jaden shrugs, wiping rain from his face. "Couldn't let you fall. Who'd drive that car?" It's a half joke, but it lands. Keanu laughs, a real one, and digs into his pocket. He hands Jaden a card. Simple, black, with a number. "You need anything, you call me. I mean it." Jaden takes it, fingers trembling, not from the cold, but from the weight of it. A movie star's promise? It's unreal. Keanu climbs back into his Porsche, the engine roaring as he pulls away. Jaden stands there, card in hand, staring after him. He doesn't know what's coming, but he feels it. A shift, a crack in the life he's always known. That moment sticks with Jaden. Back in his shack, a lean-to of scavenged boards and tarp, he can't stop turning the card over in his hands. It's the first time someone's seen him, really seen him, not just another slum kid. Keanu Reeves isn't just a name now. He's proof the world's bigger than this. Jaden has spent years dodging the unfairness around him. Kids like him get nothing while others get everything. He's watched friends disappear, lost to hunger or worse, because no one cares enough to help. But now, this card's a lifeline, a whisper of something better. He tucks it into his pocket, lying on a thin mat, listening to the rain. He's still alone, still hungry, but for once, he's not invisible. And Keanu, he's already planning his next move because a kid like Jaden doesn't come along every day. Jaden didn't see it coming. He's perched on the dike, rain drumming against his patched jacket, lost in his usual daydreams. Him behind the wheel of a car that doesn't stall or sputter, a life where he's not just another ghost in the slums. Then, out of nowhere, a low rumble cuts through the downpour. He squints up at the highway. A line of luxury cars rolls into view, sleek and silent as predator. The lead one, a black Porsche, all curves and power, slows to a stop not far from where he sits. Jaden tilts his head, curious. The door swings open, and a man steps out. Tall, dark hair plastered wet against his face, dressed in a sharp black suit. It's Keanu Reeves. Jaden knows that face, those posters in the corner store, the guy who fights bad guys on screen. Now he's here, real, standing in the rain. Keanu doesn't notice Jaden at first. He's drawn to the river, hands in his pockets, staring at the churning water like it's got answers he's been chasing. The rain's relentless, soaking him through, but he doesn't move. Jaden watches, holding his breath. Something about Keanu feels different. Not just the fame, but the way he carries himself. Like he's been broken and put back together too many times to count. Then it happens. The ground's slick, a mess of mud and water, and Keanu's foot slips. He stumbles, arms flailing, and pitches toward the edge. Below, the river roars, hungry and wild. Jaden doesn't think. He's on his feet, bolting across the dike. His sneakers skid, but he's fast, small frame cutting through the storm. He grabs Keanu's wrist just as the man's body tips over the drop, fingers locking tight. The weight nearly drags Jaden down too. His arms burn, muscles screaming as he digs his heels into the mud. Keanu's heavier than he looks, but Jaden grits his teeth and pulls. "Hold on," he yells, voice cracking but steady. Keanu's eyes snap to his, wide, panicked, alive. With one last heave, Jaden yanks him back. They collapse together, sprawling onto the wet grass, chests heaving. Rain pelts their faces, but they're safe. Keanu props himself up, staring at this kid who just hauled him from the brink. Jaden wipes mud from his cheek and flashes a shaky grin. "Couldn't let you fall," he says, catching his breath. "Who's gonna drive that car?" It's a kid's logic, simple and raw, but it hits Keanu hard. His laugh breaks through the storm, rough and real, like he hasn't heard anything that honest in years. Keanu sits up, brushing wet hair from his eyes, and really looks at Jaden, not just a glance. This is different, deeper. "What's your name, kid?" he asks, voice soft but firm. "Jaden," the boy answers, sitting cross-legged in the muck like it's nothing. Keanu nods, processing. "You're alone out here, aren't you?" Jaden shrugs, not meeting his gaze. "Just me. Always has been." The words hang there, heavy with a truth Keanu knows too well. Loss, survival, the kind of loneliness that carves you hollow. He reaches into his suit, pulls out a card, and presses it into Jaden's muddy hand. "If you ever need anything, you call me. Got it?" Jaden stares at it, black ink stark against the white. He nods, clutching it tight, like it's the first thing he's ever owned that matters. Keanu stands, offering a hand to pull Jaden up. The kid's light, too light, and Keanu feels a pang, anger maybe, at a world that lets a boy like this slip through the cracks. "You're something else, Jaden," he says, almost to himself. Jaden just grins again, that bright, stubborn spark shining through. Keanu heads back to the Porsche, but he's not the same. That kid's grip, that fearless lunge, it's stuck with him. He slides into the driver's seat, engine purring to life, and glances back. Jaden is still there, small against the gray, waving once before turning away. Keanu's hands tighten on the wheel. He's lost people before, felt helpless too many times. Not this time. He's already decided. This isn't the end of it. For Jaden, it's more than a close call. Back in his shack, he sits on the damp floor, turning the card over and over. Keanu Reeves, a guy who's got it all, saw him, talked to him, cared enough to leave a piece of himself behind. Jaden traces the number with his finger, heart thumping. He spent his life invisible, dodging hunger and cold, watching the world speed by without him. But now? This feels like a door cracking open, just enough to let light in. He doesn't know what's next. How could he? All he knows is the ache in his arms from pulling Keanu up, the warmth of that laugh, and the promise in his pocket. It's enough to keep him awake, staring at the dark, wondering if maybe, just maybe, he's not as alone as he's always been. Jaden barely sleeps, the card from Keanu Reeves still gripped in his hand as dawn creeps into his shack. The rain's stopped, but the damp clings to everything, his thin mat, the sagging walls, his bones. Then he hears it, a low growl of engines outside. He scrambles to a crack in the wall, peering out. There's the Porsche, black and gleaming, parked in the mud like it's lost. Keanu steps out, casual now, no suit, just jeans and a jacket, but that same steady presence. A couple of guys in crisp shirts follow, carrying briefcases, but Jaden only sees Keanu. The man knocks, firm but not loud, and Jaden hesitates before swinging the rickety door open. Keanu steps inside, eyes sweeping the place. No judgment, just a quiet weight in his gaze. "Morning, Jaden," he says, voice warm. "I meant what I said. I'm here to get you out of this." Jaden blinks, unsure. "Out of what?" he asks, voice small. Keanu crouches to his level, meeting his eyes. "This life, the one that's been kicking you down." He nods to one of the guys, who hands him a thick envelope. Keanu opens it, pulling out papers, and holds them out. "These are adoption papers. I want to give you a home, Jaden, a real one. A chance to be who you're meant to be, not just what this place forces you to be." The words hit like a punch. Jaden stares, mouth dry. No kid should live like this. He hears it, feels it, and something cracks inside him. Tears spill over, hot and fast, and he swipes at them, embarrassed. "Why me?" he chokes out. Keanu's hand lands on his shoulder, steady. "Because you're worth it. Because you saved me, and I see you." That's all it takes. Jaden nods, a jerky little motion, and Keanu's face softens with a smile. Not the movie star grin, but something real, raw. "Pack what you've got," he says, standing. Jaden doesn't have much. A torn shirt, a cracked plastic car he found in the trash. He stuffs them into a plastic bag, hands shaking. Keanu waits, patient, then leads him out. The slum air feels heavier now, like it's trying to pull him back, but Jaden steps into the Porsche anyway. The leather seat soft, warm, wrapping around him like a promise. Keanu slides in beside him, starts the engine, and they roll out. Jaden presses his face to the window, watching the shack shrink in the side mirror. It's not just a ride, it's a lifeline, and he's holding on tight. The drive's quiet at first. Jaden can't stop staring at the dashboard, all sleek lines and glowing lights. Keanu glances over. "You like cars, huh?" Jaden nods, shy. "Yeah, they're free." Keanu chuckles, a sound that eases the knot in Jaden's chest. "They are. This one's yours now, too." Jaden's eyes widen, but before he can argue, they're pulling up to a tower downtown. Glass and steel, nothing like the slums. Keanu leads him inside, past a doorman who nods like they're expected. The elevator hums, and when the doors open, Jaden freezes. It's a penthouse, huge, open, with a view of the city that makes his breath catch. "This is home," Keanu says, stepping aside. Jaden wanders in, touching a couch that doesn't sag, opening a fridge stuffed with food. A room waits for him. His own bed. New clothes folded neat. It's too much, and he feels it all at once, relief, fear, hope. Keanu watches him take it in, leaning against the counter. "You'll get used to it," he says, like he knows the overwhelm. "But it's yours now, no more fighting for scraps." Jaden nods, clutching a new jacket, but his mind's spinning. On the drive, he'd seen them, other kids in the slums, skinny and staring as the Porsche passed. Kids like he was yesterday, stuck in a world that doesn't care. Guilt twists in his gut. Why him and not them? He turns to Keanu, voice barely a whisper. What about the others, the ones still out there? Keanu's quiet for a beat, then sits across from him. I've been asking myself that for years, he admits. The world's not fair, Jaden. I can't fix it all, but I can start with you. And maybe you'll help me figure out the rest. That sticks with Jaden. Keanu's not just a savior. He's human, wrestling with the same questions. Over dinner, real food, hot and piled high, Keanu talks. Not about movies or fame, but about loss. I've had people taken from me, he says. Fork paused. Felt helpless too many times. When you pulled me back, it wasn't just my life you saved. It was something bigger. Jaden listens, soaking it in. This guy gets it. The ache, the fight. They're different, sure, but not as much as he thought. Later, in his new bed, Jaden stares at the ceiling. It's soft, clean, safe. He's not alone anymore, and that hits hard. Tears come again, but he lets them fall this time. He's got a shot now, a real one, and it's not just for him. Keanu's not done either. He lies awake that night, thinking about Jaden, 9 years old and tougher than most grown men he knows. The kid's spark, that fearless grab on the dike, it's rare. Keanu's seen too many people give up, too many lives snuffed out by a world that doesn't care. He's got the means, the will, why not use it? Adopting Jaden isn't charity, it's a pact, a chance to right some wrongs. Starting with one boy who's already proven he's worth betting on. Tomorrow, they'll start building something together. Keanu feels it. This is bigger than both of them. Jaden thought the hard part was over. New home, new life, Keanu in his corner. But stepping into the private school feels like walking into a different planet. The halls are polished, the kids decked out in crisp uniforms, their voices loud with confidence he doesn't have. Keanu set him up with tutors, patient folks who break down math and reading like it's a puzzle, not a wall. Jaden gets it, mostly. He's quick, always has been, but it's not the work that trips him up. It's the stares, the whispers. That's the kid Keanu took in, one says, smirking. Bet he doesn't even know what a fork is, another laughs. His patched-up past sticks to him like mud, and no amount of new clothes can wash it off. He sits alone at lunch, picking at food he'd have killed for back in the slums, wondering if he's fooling himself thinking he belongs. Doubt creeps in fast. Jaden has fought to survive hunger, cold, nights with no roof, but this is different. Back there he knew the rules. Keep your head down, hustle, don't expect much. Here the rules are hidden, and he's failing a test he didn't sign up for. He catches his reflection in a glass door, skinny, brown eyes too big for his face, and feels small. Keanu's voice echoes in his head. You're worth it. But what if he's wrong? What if Jaden is just a charity case, a story for Keanu to feel good about? He stops talking in class, keeps his answers short. The tutors notice, but he shrugs them off. I'm fine, he lies, and they don't push. He's not fine, he's sinking, and the weight of where he came from drags him deeper every day. Then the field trip happens. The school's out by the river. Same wild water he's known forever, but now he's here with a backpack and a packed lunch, not scavenging for scraps. The other kids splash around carefree while Jaden hangs back, watching. That's when he sees her, Mia, a tiny girl, maybe 6, chasing a ball too close to the bank. The ground's wet, slippery, and she doesn't notice until it's too late. Her foot slides, and she's gone, tumbling into the icy current with a scream. The group freezes, teachers shouting, but Jaden moves. It's the dike all over again. Keanu slipping, that split-second choice. He drops his bag and dives in, the cold biting his skin. Mia's flailing, barely above water, and he swims hard, grabbing her arm. I've got you, he gasps, pulling her to the shore as his legs burn. They hit the bank, soaked and shaking. Mia clings to him, sobbing, and Jaden holds her tight until a teacher pries her away. The crowd's buzzing now. Kids who mocked him yesterday are wide-eyed, whispering his name. He just jumped in, one says. Saved her like it was nothing, another adds. Jaden doesn't hear it. He's dripping wet, heart pounding, replaying the moment he almost didn't make it. A teacher wraps him in a blanket, but it's Keanu's voice he needs. He's there in an hour, called from the city, kneeling beside him. You okay? Keanu asks, eyes searching. Jaden nods, teeth chattering. Had to, he mumbles. Keanu's hand grips his shoulder, firm. You didn't have to, but you did. That's who you are. Later at home, Keanu sits him down. The penthouse is quiet, just them and the hum of the city outside. "You're beating yourself up over school, aren't you?" Keanu says, cutting straight to it. Jaden looks away, but Keanu doesn't let it slide. "Listen, I've been where you are. Not the slums, but lost. After my sister, my kid, I thought I didn't deserve to keep going. People judge me too, still do. But you don't owe them proof, Jaden. You were a hero before I met you. Today just showed it again." The words land heavy, peeling back Jaden walls. Keanu's not perfect, not untouchable. He's fought his own dark, and he's still here. Jaden feels it. He's not alone in this mess of doubt and grit. That night, Jaden can't sleep. Mia's scared face, the river's pull, it's all too real. But something shifts. He's not just the kid who got lucky, plucked from the slums by a star. He's the one who jumps in, who fights, even when he's scared. And those kids at school, they don't get it. The hunger, the cold, the way it shapes you. But maybe he can show them. Maybe he can show everyone. He thinks of the slums, the kids still there, ignored by a world that's warm and fed. Keanu's given him a shot, but it's bigger than comfort now. It's responsibility. He's got a voice, a story, and it's not just his anymore. It's for them, the ones society's left behind. Keanu sees it too. He's up late, coffee in hand, replaying the day. Jaden isn't just surviving, he's growing, stepping into something Keanu can't fully name yet. The kid's got scars, sure, but they're fuel, not chains. Keanu knows loss, knows what it's like to feel worthless. He's poured himself into movies, into helping strangers, but this is personal. Jaden is proof you can climb out of the dark and pull others with you. Keanu's not just a guardian, he's a partner in this, and he's damn proud. Tomorrow they'll talk more, plan more. Jaden isn't done surprising him. Or the world. Jaden isn't just a kid anymore. He's a force. With Keanu by his side, he's got fire in his gut and a plan in his hands. They start Dikes of Hope, a lifeline for Seattle's forgotten kids. Scholarships, safe beds, a shot at something better. Jaden doesn't just sit back. He's the face of it, the voice. Keanu's the muscle, the name that opens doors. But Jaden is the heart. He's been there, hungry, invisible, dreaming on muddy dikes, and he's damn sure those kids won't stay there. He hits community events, talking to parents who nod like they get it, kids who stare like he's a superhero. "I was you," he tells them, voice steady, "and you're enough." Keanu watches from the sidelines, arms crossed, proud as hell. This isn't his show, it's Jaden, and he's shining. The launch day's big, they're back at the river, not far from where it all started. A crowd's gathered. Families, volunteers, kids clutching free backpacks. Jaden steps onto a makeshift stage, microphone in hand, heart thudding. He's nervous, but Keanu's nod from the front row steadies him. He takes a breath and starts. "I used to think I was nothing," he says, words raw. "A slum kid nobody saw. I'd sit by this river, dreaming, but it was just noise in my head. Then someone believed in me." He glances at Keanu, who doesn't flinch. "Now I know every dream counts, yours too." The crowd erupts, clapping loud enough to drown the water's roar. Jaden feels it. A rush, not of fear, but power. He's not invisible anymore. He's changing things. Right here, right now. That night, they're on the penthouse balcony, city lights bouncing off the river below. Jaden leans on the railing, quieter than usual. Keanu's beside him, sipping tea, letting the silence settle. "You think I can change the world?" Jaden asks, voice soft, almost afraid of the answer. Keanu sets his cup down, turning to him. "You already did, Jaden. You changed mine." That's where it starts. The words sink in, heavy and warm. Jaden doesn't say much, just nods, eyes tracing the water. He's not chasing cars anymore, not dreaming of leather seats or speed. He's dreaming bigger. Dikes of hope, bridges for kids like him, paths out of the dark. Keanu sees it too, that shift, and it hits him. This kid's outgrown the rescue. He's leading now. Jaden grows into it. Years pass, but the fire doesn't fade. He's taller, surer, still got that grin that cuts through doubt. Dikes of hope spreads. More cities, more kids, more chances. He speaks at schools, meets with folks who've got money to give, tells his story like it's a weapon. And it is. People listen, really listen, because he's not just talk. He's proof. Keanu's there, quieter now, letting Jaden take the wheel. They're a team, but it's Jaden fight, his light. He goes back to the slums sometimes, sees the kids still stuck, and it stings. But he doesn't stop. He builds shelters, programs, hope. Because he knows what it's like to have nothing and find something. The story ends with Jaden not as a kid, but a man, not rich or famous, but alive with purpose. He's not saving the world alone, he's sparking others to join. Keanu's still around, gray creeping into his hair, but that pride in his eyes hasn't dimmed. They've done something real, taken a boy from the mud and turned him into a beacon. Jaden doesn't forget the slums, the cold, the hunger. He carries them, uses them, shines them back on the shadows society ignores. It's not a fairy tale, it's messy, hard, true, but it's light, cutting through the dark, proving one life can ripple into thousands. And that's enough. What do you think? Can one moment really rewrite a life? Jaden and Keanu make me believe it can. A kid from the slums and a star with scars. They didn't just save each other, they built something bigger. I see it as proof that courage and kindness can crack the world open, even when it's unfair as hell. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think it's luck, not grit, that pulls someone out. Fair enough, we've all got our lens. But for me, this hits home. No one's too small to matter and no one's too big to care. Thanks for sticking with this story, it means a lot. If it moved you, drop empower in the comments. Share your take and hit that like button. Subscribe and tap the bell for more. Let's keep this conversation going.